Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. We're going to be doing our weekly Forex analysis again. This is going to be for the week of June 9th all the way up until June 15th. So we had a big news event on Friday and that shifted the markets a lot. So we're going to see how that impacted our charts and see what new opportunities it brings. So let's get into the charts and see what we got. So first up on our list is Euro AUD. Unfortunately, we got kind of suckered out last week. We had a really good trading opportunity that lined up, but I couldn't place the trade. Basically because, one, there was this huge spike downwards. Actually, this one this one is the one I wanted to talk about, but I can talk about this one too. So basically, there was a huge spike downwards. I saw that we had an area of interest here, but I wasn't willing to take the risk of just having no shift of structure really on the 1 hour or the 30-minute. It was just kind of like a quick dip, a quick, I guess, liquidity sweep, whatever the fuck they call it. But yeah, I remember being in this moment around, what was it, like 9 p.m., almost 10 p.m. And I was contemplating. I was like, should I just place a small kind of a bet, just kind of risk a little bit. I haven't placed a trade in a little bit. I just kind of want to like be in the market and do something. I ended up not doing it, but even though it worked out in our direction, that doesn't mean it was bad. It's good that I didn't force a trade when my strategy wasn't lining up, right? So that's important. You don't have to force a trade. Even if it goes in your direction, you don't force the trade if it doesn't line up well. So we didn't take this trade, which is fine. It is what it is. This trade I was kind of upset about. I think this was more of my fault for not placing the trade during session. What I definitely should have done is perhaps been a little bit more aware that I was in the Asian session and there is not a lot of movement going on. So basically, we had this reverse head and shoulders coming up, right? We could see it here on the 1 hour time frame, right? Pretty clean. So I expected this to do another jump again. I saw we were starting to doing a lot of rejecting at this lower left shoulder and also a little bit at this area of interest. It wasn't exactly at it, but that's fine because we're on the 1 hour, so it's a little bit more volatile. But in general, on the 4 hour as well, we could see it's kind of creating not a super smooth, but this general pattern of, making a lower or higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and I wanted to continue that trend. Basically what happened was I entered the trade and it kind of just dipped straight into the negative, so I ended up losing the trade. I had my stop loss below this low and also below this low and also somewhat touching this area of interest, but it wicked us out, then consolidated for a little bit on the 30-minute and just continued to boom all the way during London session. Then during London session, I was awake right around this time, 7:38 a.m. I was heading to work, got to work, and I always look at my computer real quick right when I get to work just to see if there's anything going on while I was commuting there. And I saw this, little Fibonacci sequence with this huge push upwards. This is a lot cleaner of a push upwards breaking shift of structure on the lower time frame, right? This is a huge push breaking above and closing above this previous market structure. So now what do we do when that happens? We wait for a retracement back down into one of these fib levels. We wait for, just wait for anything to place a limit order. And I didn't place a limit order simply because, one, I would have liked to see it come down a little bit further. I would have loved to see it, reach at least the 0.5 or the 0.618. It didn't get close to that. It only rejected off of the 0.382. But also, there was a huge news event. Lots of news being released. I believe it was this 8:30. So maybe it was like 8:30-ish. And it's just, it would have killed me if I placed the trade and then it instantly lost, especially after losing this trade the night before. So I didn't place any trade at all because I didn't want to just, God forbid, see this chart completely tank right after I place, another long order limit like this or something. I would have cried. But either way, new opportunities. That's what happened last week. But on the 4-hour now and on the daily, we can see we're breaking a lot of structure. Again, we're holding above. We closed above, which is huge. We closed above our daily EMA, huge. 4-hour, we closed above our area of interest. We're still above our EMA, which is great. But we're just going to wait for this to continue to create maybe a little bit higher of a push, because I don't think it's going to instantly start rejecting as soon as the market opens. We need to give it a little bit of breathing room. So it's probably going to be right around here, or maybe just continue. But either way, wherever it is, we want to see it retrace back into our fib levels, which will be great because it'll likely line up with our 4-hour EMA a little bit more. It might be around Monday, Tuesday time. It'll be right at our market structure, at our area of interest. Lots of confluences will start to line up. If we see a lower time frame shift of structure, that's when we will look at a lower time frame fib sequence and place our limit order. This kind of, stop loss and take profit is just, nothing crazy right now. I'm just keeping it here just to know I'm looking for a long position if the opportunity arises. So I have my excuse me, my alert set up. GBP AUD is very, very similar. So again, we had a very strong push on Friday, which is great because now we're breaking above a lot of structure. We're breaking above this area of interest. And we respected our daily EMA on the 4-hour. Again, we're breaking market structure. So again, we're just waiting for a new little push to be made, come back, retrace back into our fib levels, 0.318, 0.15, whatever it may be. Hopefully wick into our market structure here. I would love to see it kind of reject these tops and also reject this area of interest. So maybe we could get in something like this, just a 1.5, 1.6, depending on where our stop loss is. It might be closer to 2. But yeah, we'll just have to wait. Those two are very similar. Like I said in previous videos, similar pairs and opposite pairs work great. So, we're looking for longs on Euro AUD because a lot of things are lining up for long positions, and we're looking for longs on GBP AUD. So, good confluences when they're in sync, and also good confluences when they're opposites. So like GBP and AUD, now we have AUD USD, we're looking for a short. And it's not like, I'm not saying we're looking for a short only because it's an opposite pair. I'm saying we're looking for a short because of how the market is looking and how the structure is turning out to be as it goes along, if that kind of makes sense. It's only an extra confluence that is in sync with other pairs. It doesn't mean, it's not that it's its own thing. If that kind of, I don't know if I explained that well, but I think you guys kind of understand the point of what I'm getting at. It's not its own thing, it's just an extra confluence. So we had the big push down on Friday, which is great. We're breaking a lot of lower market structure, which is great. There was other opportunities that I think I got in on this trade. This trade was good, but there was definitely other opportunities where I could have gotten in again on these 3-year lows. But I don't think I was really watching AUD too much, AUD USD. But either way, we were looking for sells now. We're breaking lower market structure. We're breaking below our area of interests here and here. So we're just going to likely wait for a 4-hour retracement back into this kind of area of interest. And also this 4-hour market structure. If we also come back, we also will start to line up with our 4-hour EMA, which will look good too. And if we have those confluences, again, we wait for the lower time frame shift of structure, lower time frame fib sequence, and then we just go in from there. So yeah, we'll just have to see how that kind of plays out. The take profit on this one's going to be a little tricky simply because we do have this lower area of interest. So if we kind of wick into here and we don't really close solid below our area of interest here, may have to shorten our take profit. And if it's anything below like a 1 to a 1.3, then I'm probably not going to take it. It's not really worth the risk for me. I need, a little bit bigger of a reward for my strategy to work out well. So that's that for AUD USD. Next up is NZD USD. These last two pairs are kind of iffy. They're like not as strong as the first three. So these are just on my list because they look okay, if that kind of makes sense. Basically, on the weekly, what I loved about NZD USD was kind of this reverse head and shoulders pattern. We could see that it created the left shoulder and then the head and then hopefully creating the right shoulder now. to go long, but the thing is, it also wasn't the cleanest head and shoulders simply because we didn't close above previous market structure for the left shoulder. On the daily, we do have a big spike downwards. So even though weekly is bullish, daily is bearish, and 4 hours is bearish. So we're going to have to wait for at least a 4 hour to be bullish. This one's a little iffy. Like, I don't think it's going to be ready this week. Honestly, it might take maybe, you know, 1, 2, 3 weeks for this to line up well. We just need a lot more market structure to be made, maybe even see a daily shift of structure, which would be huge. But if we see a daily shift of structure, then that's going to just take a long time, right? That's not going to happen within a day. That's going to happen within 10 days, 20 days. It has to look clean too. You know, these things add a lot of confluences and probability to our trades. So that's why it's on this list, just for future kind of references, but not 100% confident on this one. And then GBP NZD. So one losing trade that I took, I think it was like, when was this? May 28th? Was that like 2 weeks ago or something? Basically, I mentioned in the YouTube video, I didn't want to place the trade unless we broke above this area of interest. And I went against my own words, of course, and I placed the trade anyways. And the reason why I placed the trade was simply because the lower time frame confluences were looking really, really good, right? There was like lots of good confluences right by my entry that I loved. But the bad thing was that, again, we were below our area of interest, but there was also a daily reverse head and shoulders. So I really, really liked this really clean reverse head and shoulders. And I also really liked how this day was like had a real low wick, kind of rejecting lower prices. So that's always a nice confluence for me as well, to just say that price is going to continue in our direction. So that's why I placed the order. It jiggled back and forth between profit and loss, and then it ended up just tanking into our loss. So that's kind of unfortunate. I should have listened to my rules a little bit more closely. The reverse head and shoulders really, really baited me into that trade. But this time, we actually really need to listen to our rules now. This one, I will be looking for a simple break and retest kind of strategy. So on the weekly, we have our reverse head and shoulders on the weekly, which is great. And if we start to continue to push upwards, that means we're going to be respecting our head and shoulders neckline, which is great. On the daily, we already see that we broke above this elbow, so daily is technically bullish, but we really want to see the daily break above and hold above this area of interest and also above our daily EMA. Also on the 4 hour, it'll look very clean as well. Our 4 hour tops are the same as our daily tops. So if we could see a really nice structure like this where it breaks above, holds, comes back, retests our area of interest, our EMA, and we get our confluences on the lower time frame, then we are going to have a really good high confluence trade. This one might also take an extra time. We might need 1 more week to do another push like this, and then wait for the following week to kind of wick into our area of interest before continuing long again. So this one might take a little bit more time as well. So just have patience and wait for market to tell you what it's going to do. I did mention these two last week, GBP USD and GBP CAD. They're okay still. I do like GBP USD a lot better simply because we have a cleaner weekly market structure. Daily is kind of annoying since it's going to be turning bearish. But on the weekly, as I said in the previous YouTube video, we have, this shift of structure down here, came up, broke this elbow, and now we're just waiting for a retest of this daily area of interest and just continue long from there. I believe it's also somewhat of a fib. Yeah, right around 0.382. So on the weekly. On the daily, again, like I said, the daily is going to turn bearish. Our EMA is starting to approach it, so it might honestly bounce off of this area again, or it might just continue to tank, hopefully, into this area, but it won't respect it too cleanly. And the 4 hour is a little sloppy as well, since it's all going to be turning bearish, and we're going to be way below our 4 hour EMA. So that's why these kind of moved down to the bottom of my tier list now. They're not really any pair that I'm going to be looking for this week at least. But yeah, we have 3 really strong pairs for this week: Euro AUD, GBP AUD, and AUD USD, and then 2 kind of middle-ish meh, like 60 to 70% confidence on NZD USD and GBP NZD. So keep on the lookout. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you if you stayed all the way through. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully we could catch some good trades together. Let me know what you think of the new camera. I picked this up for $50 at Best Buy, and I think it's going to be better quality than the phone that I've been using. I've been using just my iPhone to record the video, and I think this will look a little bit cleaner and a little bit nicer in the videos rather than like a sloppy unprofessional video. So let me know what you think. Have a great one, guys. Don't forget to leave an algorithmic comment and like so I can get more views. Have a good one. Peace.